Okay, thanks for tuning in with Built J. Today I'm going to show you how to remove your automatic neutral safety switch and the bracket and everything else that goes with it. Basically your gear shifter. If you're going to do an automatic to manual swap, you're going to go ahead and need to remove this along with other various components, and will require some cutting to install the shift linkage correctly underneath the vehicle. So let me go ahead and get started and we'll jump right into it, and I have plenty more videos to follow after this one. Okay, so first off, you're going to want to grab your screwdriver, and there's 1, 2, 3 screws, and that just holds this in place, this plastic piece. There is a wire connected to it, so just be wary of that. So go ahead and push that clip in, and then go ahead and wiggle it out. Alright, once you push that clip, you have it out there. There's that. It's connected with a little plastic clip that goes into the body. So now you want to remove the actual knob that connects to your automatic shifter. Now there's 2 screws, there's one on each side. Go ahead and remove those. Oh, one is already taken out on that side, so that one is already done for me. Alright, as you can see, there's the screw, very small screw. Alright, and that goes flying out. So if you are going to put this back, when you remove it, you just want to hold it in as you're taking it out. As you're taking it out, just hold this button in and it won't pop out on you like it just did to me. So now that you have that off, you can disconnect this wiring. It is just one of the lights. This is a light bulb for your Prindle. So you just twist it and it should come right out. There you go, you have it disconnected. As you can see, this connects right here. So that's that. Now that you have that loose, go ahead and disconnect your connectors. There's one over here, which is your park, reverse neutral, your Prindle. So there's that. And then here's your neutral safety switch. So you go ahead and you'll unplug that. If you are using the automatic harness for your automatic manual swap, you're going to want to leave this inside the vehicle, and you're going to want to leave it in either park or neutral. If not, you will have trouble with your vehicle starting, as it's going to think that it's in drive or reverse, so on and so forth. If it's in neutral or if it's in the park position, you are able to start the vehicle. So if you are using, again, if you're using the automatic dash harness, then you're going to need to leave this plugged in and leave it in the park or neutral position. And if you have an automatic cluster, on the cluster it'll show you if you're in park, reverse, neutral, drive, so on and so forth. But if you have the manual cluster, you'll never know, and you'll be searching for a problem that, you know, you're searching for a while. So just keep that in mind. So if you're keeping it, take off these 2 12mm bolts. This comes off. You can tuck it back here, zip tie it around your dash, and then you'll be good to go. But then we're gonna have to take this whole bracket is gonna have to come out. There's screws on the bottom half. Most of the times they're rusted out and they're hard to unbolt. They're 10mm, so you may have to cut them. But there's one underneath the vehicle right here, one right here, one right here, and one underneath this neutral safety switch right here. So let's go ahead and get that squared away. I'm going to grab a 10mm and a 12mm, and we'll get all this stuff taken off. So we'll go ahead and take these off. You know, everything in Hondas is always a 10. But yep, so we'll loosen that. So I'm gonna keep this aside for now. If you have a pair of pliers, then you can just press it on this side and pull it out, just like that. But again, like I said, I'm not really worried about any of this because I'm not going to be using it. So essentially, this is what we're taking out. I'll remove this screw. Move that screw that relieves the tension off of this. Again, it's for your Prindle. Park, reverse, neutral. Okay, so there's that. Let me put that back. And there's some washers that sit on the inside. Well, I wouldn't say washers, I would call them more like collars. So there's that. I'll put this back. I always like to put stuff back where I found it. That way when it's time to put it all back together, it's a nice, easy process. But now that you have all that removed, you can go ahead and remove you're going to want to remove this cable, which is your automatic shifter cable. You're going to want to remove that. So what we're going to do is come over here, and there's a little safety lock. I guess you could call it safety pin, safety lock. If you guys can see it, yes, it's right here. So it's right here. Just get a flathead screwdriver, pry up on this side, you know, left, right, up, down, R1, R2, you know, put your cheat code in and just take it out slowly. And there she is. That's the pin. That is it right there. Put that aside. If you're, again, if you're using it, you're going to need it. If you're not, then you're all set. And now you're gonna have to loosen this. There's threads on this, so you may have to loosen it, or you can just like that. Boom. Take it off. You're good to go. That disconnects your shifter cable. So now you're able to disconnect this whole thing. Again, four screws underneath the body. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go underneath. Zip them off if you're able to. If not, cut them off. And then you're going to go ahead and remove this shifter box. So that's the first step. But I just wanted to show you guys what you're dealing with. Those are rusted. There's one there, and then 2 in the back. And those are what you'll have to remove. Alright guys, so when you get underneath the vehicle, here's your automatic shifter. Usually connects to transmission, but in this case it's broken. It goes all the way down. You got nasty bracket that you probably have to cut as well if the 10mm bolts don't come off, which we have one in that cobweb on the left and one in that cobweb on the right. So you remove those two, you drop the shifter. But we're gonna have to do some cutting down here, because when you put in your manual shift linkage, it's going to bang against this. So you want to remove this, and I'll show you how to do it later in the video. Alright, so we have the tunnel cut out so we can put in the manual shift linkage, and the tunnel is right there. I had to cut it out. As you can see, it was cut out, and this is where it sits. This is the shifter cable, and there's 2 bolts which snapped on me. You see it snapped there and snapped on that side, so the bracket popped loose, and I was able to pull this out. And then once you pull this out, see if I can get out, there you go. Once you pull that out, then you get a small cutting wheel, and you slowly cut your way around until you cut let's say, almost a full cut all the way around. Once you cut all that, then you can bend it back and forth until it snaps, or bend it just enough to get the wheel in there to cut the rest. And now you have this little lip, you see there. You're going to want to grind that down so it's flush, and then once it's flush, we can tack weld a new metal plate there to cover up that hole. This hole is fine because we're going to be using it for the shift linkage, and we're going to drill right in the middle of these two holes here. So let me go ahead and grind that lip down. Time to weld this baby in.